Hey everybody, welcome back to Ask Lex Rx. I'm Dr. Lexi, the functional medicine pharmacist at River City Pharmacy and the Vine Health and Wellness, which is the wellness center inside of River City Pharmacy. And I'm actually coming to you today not from the pharmacy, but from Charlotte, North Carolina at the National Community Pharmacist Association Convention. We're really excited to bring back some awesome services to you guys, so keep an eye out for those. But I kind of wanted to go over the relationship between gut health and metabolic disease. I talk about gut health all the time, and this month I wanted to focus more on metabolic disease, so today I'm going to kind of marry those two together. Hey Cedric, how are you? So today, first things first, like the gut, it is the beginning of your metabolism. So the metabolism is involved in metabolic disease, right? That's when the metabolism gets off and so things start to go wrong. So, it starts even from when you just smell your food. You start to salivate. That's actually digestive enzymes that are getting ready to prepare to break down your food. So we've got the whole chewing thing. I'm glad you're doing good, Cedric. We've got chewing, we've got swallowing, we've got enzymes and stomach acid that help break down our food, help it absorb. And then there's actually digestive hormones, one of which is called GLP-1. I'm not even going to try and pronounce the full name for you, but what it does is it tells your brain that you're full. And so it also tells the pancreas to make insulin so that the sugar that comes from breaking down your food can actually become absorbed into the cells to give you energy and go from there. So if something goes wrong with GLP-1, then you're not getting that sugar out of the cells, and you're probably eating more because it's not telling your brain that you're full. So that is all really important. And then there's another component called short-chain fatty acids. And these are made by the good bacteria in your gut, which I will get to in just a minute. But short-chain fatty acids feed your colon cells. So I've talked about L-glutamine before and how it's the preferred fuel source for your gut cells. When I say that, do you have to worry about this with taking a probiotic? A probiotic is one of the components of gut health, so you're already on the way to good gut health with taking a probiotic, Cedric. That's a really good question. L-glutamine is the food for more of your small intestinal cells, and these short-chain fatty acids that your good gut bacteria make are the foods for your colon cells. So that's your large intestine. So what they can actually do is they are not only food for that, but they can also help increase that GLP-1 so that your hormones, your hunger hormones, are working more properly. So then we also know that from data that GLP-1 is lower in type 2 diabetes and people that have type 2 diabetes, which is why we have there's actually drugs out there that act like GLP-1. And I know you guys know what these drugs are. It's Trulicity, it's Ozempic. Like these are the new injectable medications that do wonders, and this is why. So I also wanted to make a connection with your gut bacteria. You knew I'd get to it. But what they do is the gut bacteria actually control how our cells differentiate and grow, and they can help metabolize different carcinogens in the gut, which is super duper important. They also make vitamins and secrete neurotransmitters. I mean, these guys are seriously like our best friends. But from a metabolic standpoint, these gut bugs also ferment some of the non-digestible dietary components like fiber. This is where fiber comes in, right? And what that does is it does create those short-chain fatty acids that I just talked about, but it can also help with different ion and mineral absorption, which is super duper important for your metabolism, keeping that up and running really well. So they're also, like I said, mentioning the carcinogens, they're really involved in the detoxification and biotransformation processes of certain substances. So it's not just carcinogens, it's hormones too. So when this gets thrown off, your body's not able to detoxify those hormones, And this is why we see a lot of estrogen dominance, because you get estrogen that builds up. Okay, so I want to try and wrap this up for y'all, but I do want to really quickly talk about inflammation. So inflammation is huge. I've talked about it. Inflammation causes leaky gut, and this leads to insulin resistance and a big circle of a big mess. But so basically your gut is supposed to have these really, really tiny junctions that only allow certain things in at a time. But what happens is things can damage the gut, like stress, like inflammation, like certain medications, certain foods, toxins. So when it's damaged, those gaps are bigger. And so food and other things that normally wouldn't be able to get across are getting across into our bloodstream. And so then we see these larger molecules passing through, and these are things like casein and gluten or gliadin particles and things that you're eating. And so what happens is your immune system starts seeing these things, and it thinks that they're foreign because it doesn't usually see them in those big molecules. And so it goes on the attack, and it causes inflammation and everything. So all of that is said to say that the gut is very important when it comes to metabolic disease. So there's a lot more that goes into it, and it gets really, really detailed, especially when we start talking about individuals. So if you want to have more questions, how this may directly apply to you, what you can do, give me a call, let's talk, and see if working together makes sense, and we can go from there. I would love to answer your questions. With that, I'm going to get back to my last session of the day, and then I will be on my way home to y'all. And so on here, I will see you next week. In person, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay, bye.